Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. And today we are going to learn how to push our local repositories to GitHub repositories. So first, let's start by launching Jupyter Lab. Sorry, this was in my second screen. You see now that this is the kernel that I showed you in the last video, how to create it and how to register this kernel in Jupyter Lab. So for example, this is my project directory. So I open this one, a new notebook. I will rename it as Loifana. And I will print like something like hello Loifana. And yeah, this is just the beginning of this hypothetical project. And then I will go back to the terminal and open a new tab, a new window. And then I will go to my project directory. So I will go to my project directory, which is called my first code. And then here I will put git init. I'm going to initialize the version control in this project. Okay. If you can see here, this is my project directory. And here, if I reveal the files that are hidden, I see Git. So Git is now created here. And so if I type git status, Git is telling me that I have some files in this project that I haven't tracked and that are pending revision and to commit changes. So you can check the documentation about Git and how to use control versioning. Here I am only show you how to, the very basic stuff on how to commit changes and push this to your GitHub repo. So first let's create a git ignore file, because these two files here I don't want to be appearing every time. So I create a new file here, touch git ignore. You see now that you see now that I have here this new file git ignore. So here I can put something like which files I want to be ignored. For example, I have, how many I have here? I have I have three. So let's put, we can put double stars or asterisks to say that in all the project folder store, we can also put .ipynb checkpoints. And you can also put here some other files such as passwords, API keys, etc. And so now if I close this and I put git status, you see that I did a mistake with the git ignore in putting the checkpoints. So if I put again git status, you see now that I don't have these other files here. Okay, secondary files here. I just have the git ignore. So these are the files that I need to track the changes here and commit the changes. So to do that is git add. I can put 1 point to commit changes in everything, but you can add changes to specific files such as git ignore. And then git commit. After each change, I need to commit with this flag m, then creation of git ignore. Okay, now I have one file that is pending. I put git add Loifana E by YMB, and then git commit creation of notebook. You can put anything here, and you can put whatever you want here, as long as it is understandable in your workflow. So yeah, I have this now. So how do I push this to my own repository in GitHub? So let's go to my GitHub account. I open GitHub, a new repository. Let's just put here my first code, just the same name. No description for now. No adding readme. Git ignore. I just leave it like that. Create repository. So now this can be very confusing for, I mean, at least it was confusing for me at the beginning, but now what you are doing here with these instructions here is that we want to push an existing repository from the command line. So what we want to do with this is to push an existing repository from the command line. So we have to run this line, for example. Here are the instructions. I go back to the terminal. Okay, so before that, obviously you need to have connected your GitHub account with your Git. So check the wiki entry about it. So git remote add origin. Okay, first code git. Okay, so make sure that you do this in your project where Git is initialized. Git branch m is main. So if the name here is not main, you have to change it to main. It could be master in other cases. So now let's see if I put this git push origin main. I have to put the username of and my password, which I forgot, by the way. I'm going to move this to my second screen so you cannot see it. To put it here. Yeah. And so now you see that it was successful, the thing, content object 6 from 6. Now let's see what we got here if I put refresh here. So now you have here the same repo, the same structure in my folder. Let's go back to my folder. This in here with the git ignore environment Loifana, but now here I only have the Loifana notebook that I just created and the git ignore file. Okay, so the git ignore is very important. So in GitHub you don't want to put the environment, the checkpoints, the passwords, your keys, etc. Okay, so now let's go back to my Jupyter. Let's see first how it looks like, my Jupyter notebook here. Okay, so putting here Loifana, and then the use of so the very interesting thing about this is that we are working locally in our machines. We want to synchronize this with GitHub. So instead of, for example, modifying something here on my Jupyter notebook and then manually also making changes here, editing in place, for example, you don't want to do that. Okay. So for example, let me put here like another print or like print some variables, x is equal, then print hello mom. Okay, so now let's go back to our terminal and see to put git status. Okay, so no changes have been done. That's weird. Let me put save. Let me see what happens here. Git status So yeah. So now I have this modify file here, like find a notebook. So I modify here on my local environment. Here, if I refresh here, it's the same thing. I haven't pushed the changes. So now what I have to do here is to first git add the changes here. You can put just the dot or the loifana. Okay, and then git commit, and just to new lines in notebook. Okay, and then I commit changes, and then git status. Okay, and I refresh here on GitHub repository, but no changes at all, so it's different. So what happened? The thing is that I have to push changes, so I can just put git push, and then so let's see what we have in our repo. So yeah, so here you see the new changes in your GitHub repo in your, sorry. So you can see now the changes in GitHub. So now you can see the changes in GitHub, in your repo in GitHub. And you can see also the commitments here. For example, where was the message? Yeah, new lines in notebook. If you remember, that was I put as a message in the here. So yeah, so now you are ready to start working with your projects and to start pushing your files, your notebooks, everything to GitHub, so you can be more efficient, and also you can do all the more advanced stuff like pulling, cloning repositories, etc., branching, etc. So see you in the next one.